Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode corporate filings. Today we're diving into a filing from IEH Corporation, and let me tell you, this presentation looks like it's trying to sell me something, but let's see if the numbers back up the hype. IEH Corporation filed a Form 8K, a current report, with the SEC on April 10, 2025. This report includes a presentation that Dave Offerman, the Chairman, President and CEO, was scheduled to give at the LD Micro 15th Annual Invitational. Essentially, it's a snapshot of what the company wants investors to think about them. Let's take a look at what they're trying to sell. So the main point of this filing is that the CEO, Dave Offerman, was going to give a presentation at some investment conference. That presentation, which is attached as an exhibit, is supposed to give you a sense of what the company thinks is important. It's like a company trying to sell itself to potential investors. Let's scroll to that exhibit and see what IEH wants us to know. Alright, here is the main show, a slide presentation for some investment event. I guess the first slide we should focus on is the financials to see how healthy IEH is, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's take it slow and see what's happening in detail. Alright, IEH starts by talking about their history, which is quite long, more than 75 years. It tells you that they've been around for a while. They're in the connector business, making parts that connect electronic devices. The company likes to emphasize that it is nimble and adapts to changes, especially with regards to technology. Here IEH focuses on some of their unique advantages. One of their strong points is their specialized connectors, which they call hyperboloid contacts. IEH claims that their connectors are more reliable and last longer than standard options, which is important for industries where failure is not an option, like aerospace and military applications. IEH can charge a higher price for their unique products, and this can lead to better income for them. Here is a snapshot of the markets they sell to. IEH serves many industries, including military, aerospace, and medical. This is good because if one area slows down, the company still has other markets to rely on. The company says that having a broad customer base reduces risk. Now here they are showing their growth. From 2019 to 2024, IEH grew its earnings per share, or EPS, at a rate of 23.4% each year on average. That's a pretty fast growth rate and would be something investors would look for. They also claim that their return on equity, a measure of how well they use investments to generate profit, is also high compared to similar companies. Alright, let's zoom in on the numbers. Sadly, they don't show the full income statement and balance sheet. They only present a limited selection of financial highlights, which makes it difficult to get a complete picture of the company's financial health. Here are some of the numbers they do present. In 2024, sales were around $26.6 million, up a bit from $24 million the year before. Cost of sales, what it cost them to make their products, was $16.4 million. That leaves a gross profit of $10.2 million. That leaves a gross profit of $10.2 million. Thinking out expenses, the income from operations was $4.3 million. Now looking at their assets, IEH had $11.3 million in cash and short-term investments. They had total assets worth $23.5 worth $23.5 million. On the other side, they have debts of $2.7 million, and the total value of the company, or total equity, is $20.80 million. Here IEH talks about how they spent a lot on research and development, or R&D. Specifically, IEH spends 14.5% of their sales on R&D, which is pretty high. They see R&D as important to staying ahead of the competition. They are investing in new technologies to ensure that they are innovative and keep their leading place in the market. Here we have a management overview. According to IEH, their management team is highly experienced and good at what they do. They highlight their CEO, Dave Offerman, and his long tenure with the company. They seem to be trying to show that the company is in good hands. Here, IEH is trying to assure investors that it has good internal controls, which means the company has processes in place to make sure their financial reporting is accurate and reliable. This is meant to give investors confidence in the numbers. To summarize, the presentation ends by saying that the company is in a good place to grow. It highlights past performance and says that it expects to keep growing because it has a strong product, experienced management, and good internal controls. Now let's step back and look at the bigger picture. Based on this presentation, IEH Corporation is trying to paint a picture of a stable, innovative and growing company. They are trying to highlight their unique technology, diverse customer base, strong financial performance and experienced management team. One thing to note is that they are presenting limited financial information. It would be helpful to see a full set of financial statements to get a better sense of the company's overall financial health. Additionally, while the company highlights its high R&D spending, it would be helpful to understand what specific projects they are working on and what the potential return on those investments could be. Overall, the presentation gives a positive impression of IEH Corporation, but it's important to do your own research and dig deeper into the company's financials and operations before making any investment decisions. Remember, every company puts its best foot forward in these presentations. In conclusion, IEH seems like a good company. Their niche of connectors for harsh environments definitely insulates them from competition and makes it hard to replace them. Also, from what the CEO says, management seems very dedicated and tenured. So that is also a green flag for long-term investors. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more corporate deep dives. Until next time.